all of you have tested that whatever yesterday we practiced. Have you just tried to execute that code in your system?
Yes.
Is it working? No problem.
No problem. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. So this yesterday we were values the multiple variables in a single line. Okay, we'll go to the next one. After comment variable. And also strings we can store it in a double quote, or even also we can store it in a single quote. It is also we checked it. So variable name, how we can declare? So we can give the variable name with the alphanumeric, and also we can use only underscore. There is no any other special characters allowed. Also numbers we can't use. So if we use also, it will in the programming only, so it will give the error. So the time we will come to know that what is the error. In this IDE only we will come to know. So if you use any other tool or any other normal notepad editor, so we will not come to know that.
Okay.
Any online error we will not.
So for this, we have to use only pycharm, or we can use Visual Code also.
Visual also you can use Visual Code Editor, but this is very you can't debug this one thing.
Okay.
But it is there, debugger is there. You need to install other some plugins and all. But this is very even I feel very much comfortable in this pycharm.
Okay.
Also, there is some a lot of other features also there, and some automatic that value selects value will come, right? For example, if we import any class, so within that class, what all the functions are there, everything it will come. So along with that parameter, if we added any descriptions also for that method, so it will show complete details. So what is the parameter? What is the parameter I have to pass? What is the return value we can expect? So everything it will come. So but I think in Visual Studio it will not come that thing. So also Git also integrated within this. We can see the Git log and everything. Some other lot of tools are already integrated.
Okay.
But still people are using this pycharm, most of the people, and still more people, still some people are also using Visual Studio Code Editor.
Okay.
It's depend upon their comfort.
Okay. Okay.
You are comfortable with Visual Studio Code Editor?
Visual, no. I'm just asking. I don't know whether which idea is best for.
No. This is the only actually for the Python based. pycharm is only that is specifically developed because for this Python development only. pycharm.
Okay.
This Visual Studio Code also I used to develop. I will show.
Okay. Actually, even in Visual Studio also we have an option to create a Python project.
Yes, we can create it in any
But I never used that. But I don't know which idea is best for Python. That's what I just.
Every idea is actually developed as per their thing. So see here also I have used the Python. This is the Python project only.
Okay.
So for this I have used this one only. Visual Studio Code Editor and all those things. Also, if I make any error, we will not come to know.
Yes, correct.
And some other lot of drawbacks will come. So that's why even this project also I have imported to this pycharm only.
Okay.
So that's why I prefer pycharm.
Okay.
Okay, so this is we understood, right? So any question in this? So multiple values we can assign like this in the Python. So unpacking a collection. So collections means So this is kind of list actually. So we can store all the string sets inside this bracket. So this we can call it as a collection. So even in C#, I think you know about some containers.
Yes.
Containers like a map, vector. So like that in Python also we have lot type of data types. So in the data types actually we will see. So even list, tuple, here we will call it as a tuple, and dictionary we call it as a dictionary, dict. So each one we will study in detail. So how we will use, what are the inbuilt functions are there. So here actually maximum will get lot of inbuilt functions only. So for example, we have seen in the typecasting time we have seen that this str of integer of. So like this lot of this is actually if you want to store this integer type of value in the y, so we can, if this 3 is anything it can be, means it can be a string or float or whatever. So you can typecast by using the int method. So it's just like a method you are calling int. So then it will convert that value to the integer and it will return that integer value. So for this variable, it will store the integer value. So like this kind of so many inbuilt functions we get. So this is also inbuilt function type. So this will return the type of data. For example, if it is x, type of x means it is a integer. So type of y, it is a string. If it is a class, it will show the class name. So as usual, the string is a class. That is a non-primitive data type. So it will show the class string. I think this is also we checked, right? So in the same.
Yes.
Okay. So output variable. So output, as we just said. So by using the print statement, so we can print anything in the console output. So to make any to print a multiple values, we can use like with a comma operator also, that we will check. So I have not done that. Okay. So even with the comma operator, we can print the value one by one. Also, we can append it. So if both are integer value, so it will do the addition operation. For example, a plus b, if I do a plus b, it should print the 6. Yeah, it is printing the value. So if it is a string value, it will append the value to the string. It will append this integer to the string field. Okay. So this is what is happening. So we are going to append the making a addition operation with the string with the integer value. So that's why it is giving the error. So integer and addition, we are going to make an additional operation. So we can make the addition with the integer whole numbers only. We can't do the addition with the character. So that's why what I will do. So I will convert this to as a string. So to convert to the string, what we have to do? We have to cast it to string by using the str. So we have to use the
integer ಮತ್ತೆ str ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
So integer means so that is a data type. So in the data type means so what kind of data we might have, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಡೇಟಾ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್, ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಡೇಟಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಡೇಟಾ?
ನಂಬರ್ಸ್.
ಡೇಟಾ ಇದೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಡೇಟಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿನ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ, ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಫಿಲ್ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಿನ್ ಡೇಟಾ
ಹಾ,
ಅಂತ
sir.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಂದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಏನೇನ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನಿಂದು
ಹಾ.
ಇರುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಸೊ ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿನ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಯಾವತ್ತಿದೆ?
ಹಲೋ.
ಹಲೋ, ನಿನ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಯಾವತ್ತಿದೆ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್, 2000 ಸರ್, October 11th.
2000 ಅಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ 2000 ಅನ್ನೋದೇನು?
ಹಾ ಸರ್,
2000
ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್
ಅನ್ನೋದು
ಸರ್.
ನಂಬರ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ
ಹಾ,
ಟೈಪ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಅಂತ.
ಹಾ
ಸೊ ಇಟ್
ಸರ್,
ಇಸ್ ಎ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ? ನಿನ್ ಹೆಸರು ಯಾವ ಟೈಪು?
ಹಾ ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್.
ಹಾ
ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ಒನ್ ಟೈಪ್.
ಹೌದು.
ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್
ಹಾ
ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ,
ಸರ್.
ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಟಾ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ಸ್
ಹಾ
ಅಂತ
ಸರ್.
ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವೇರ್ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್,
ಹಾ
ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಬಸವರಾಜ್, BASAVARAJ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ.
ಹಾ
ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
So that set of characters we call
ಹಾ
it as
ಸರ್.
a one data type. That data type we call it as a string. So 2000 is a number. It
ಹಾ
is a
ಸರ್.
whole number. Okay.
ಹಾ
So
ಸರ್.
that numbers we can do the addition, subtraction, multiplication, everything we can do. Right.
ಹಾ ಹೌದು
So
ಸರ್.
that number we call it as a integer number. In the
ಹಾ
programming
ಓಕೆ
language,
ಸರ್.
we used to mention the integer number. Okay.
ಹಾ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಹಾ
So also we have a floating number. Floating numbers we call it for the fraction value. Okay.
ಹಾ
So
ಸರ್.
here I will store this 2.5. Okay. So this is the floating value. In the programming
Yes.
language, we call it as a floating number for this. So usually in
Yes.
general mathematics, what you were calling, so for this 2.56, you were calling a fraction number, right?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
So for this, usually in general, we were calling this as a fraction number. So if there is no any
Yes.
fraction values, like for example, there is no any dot after the there is no any dot in the number, so we will call it as a whole number.
Yes.
Okay. So this whole number, we in the programming language, we used to tell the data type is a integer data type. So if there is a fraction, we used to tell it as a float value. Okay. So now we
Yes,
will
yes.
check that 2.5
Okay,
I will be. So now we will check the type of the A. So in Python, we have one method. Okay. So type is a keyword. Okay na? So if
Yes,
type
yes.
another keyword,
ಹಾ
ಈ
ಎಸ್
ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡಬಲ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ we should mention the variable name. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ this instruction, when this instruction executes in the computer, so it will give the output as a this is which type. Okay, we'll execute this code. So now
Yes.
this is class float. You understood?
Yes, sir.
So because we are storing the floating
Yes.
value, so that's why this program is giving the output as a float. So means this variable type is a float.
Yes.
Okay. So this is nothing much actually. This is just a types of data. Even in our life,
Yes.
even in our lifetime, we use the lot of data. Even we use the photos, images. So that is one type of data. And what else data types we can use? Images we will use, videos we will use, and numbers we use, strings we use. So those are all the type of data.
Yes, sir.
This is a different type.
Yes.
So in the Python and also in any programming language also, those are the very basic one. Integer, float, and characters, boolean, all those. So here also we will see all those data types one by one. So now I am just explaining the variables. So how the variables will be declared, how the variables will be used in the Python. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now we just did the addition of this A and B. So str of A plus B. So now I execute this code. So now this append the value 2.5 to Harsha. So this A, it becomes a string. So because I am casting to string, I am casting from float value to string. So I have casted successfully. So then this value become a string value. So this complete string value gets append to the B variable. So B variable contains the string value Harsha. That's why it's appended 2.5 and Harsha. Okay, so then we'll go to the global variable. So global variable means there is a variable scope. Every time there will be a variable scope. Even in C programming or any other programming language, so we were using a local variables and global variable. Local variable means there should be a scope within some methods or within some open brace and close. Even if we use the for loop in any programming language, whatever we use the int I in the for statement, so it will be local to only within that loop. Once it come out from that loop, so that I value will be erased from the RAM. So the RAM will not it will not keep that I variable after loop completes. So in the same way, Python also we have a local and global scope for the variable. So when we create a variable like this, A and B, so this is the global declaration for this file. So for example, if I create any method, so now still I have not shown the how to create a method. So just I am showing. So here to define the method, we need to use the test keyword. Then we should mention the method name, and within the brackets we can pass the parameters, otherwise not it. Then we have to use the colon operator. So after using the colon operator, when you just press the enter, so it will come to this place. So here I just print that event. So I will remove. Okay. So this is a method. So first I will complete the what is method and how to declare and all. So method is nothing but this is a separate set of code we can execute. So instead of making complete code line by line in single page, so we will get confused. So because if there is a 1000 lines code, so it is very difficult to differentiate. So which module, for example, if we are doing some addition operation, so if we create a separate method like this, so then we can easily understand that the addition operation code are there within this method. Okay, so this is the syntax for to create a method. We should use the def keyword, def. So after def keyword, we need to give a space, and then we should give our own defined method name. So we can give any type, any name that should be relevant to our programming, whatever we are doing. Okay. So for example, I am doing the addition operation. So that's why I'm just giving the name as a add. Otherwise, you can give the complete name. So we will giving for the giving method also. How we declare the variable in the same way there is a case sensitive to declare the method name. Okay. So within the open bracket and close bracket, we can pass the parameter. So parameters means, so when we are calling this method, we can pass the values within this bracket. So what is the pass the value means? So this is just a definition. So I'm just defining this method. So this method works like this. For example, if you call this method, it will print the value of A. So this is just a definition, but I have never used. So it means this code will not execute. Means this will not print A. So we'll check it. So I just executed the code, but nothing has been printed because I have not called this method. So we are just defined this method, but we have not never called this method. So now here in the below, I will call the method add. So even if you while typing only, it will show this method. So because it is already in the above, it is already recognized that method is defined. So and there is no any semicolon to end the code. So then I just execute the code. So then this addition method has been executed. Okay. So one is the main thing. If you see any programming language, any other programming language like C++ or C# or whatever, so you used to use the flower bracket to mention that so that these many codes will come. These
Yes.
many codes will come within this open bracket and close bracket. Means these codes are belongs to this method. Okay, but in Python we don't use any such kind of brackets, open bracket and close bracket. So we call it as a indentation. So indentation means, so this is the space, this much space you have given. This is the indent. Means whatever the next line code you have, you are going to add. So for example, now you are going to print B. Okay. It should be in the same line. It should be in the same indent. For
Okay,
example,
if we start
if it
from
is back,
first, okay.
if it is a back, so then this method is ends for this first line only.
Okay.
Also, if you don't give the indentation for the first line only, then you will get the error. You can able to see this red dot. So indent expected. Okay, even if you run this also, you will get the error. Indentation error. So indentation is the most important. So you should use the space, tab space or whatever. Even if you just press enter, after this colon, if you press enter, where the cursor will come, from there you should start coding. Okay. So now again, if you give one more indentation, then this print B is for this method. Okay. Let's say execute this by the debugger. We will understand more. So I just executed the debugger. So first it is creating the AB variable. So it has been created the AB variable, and this is the type float, and this is the type string, and these are the value has been stored. So now it is there in the def add, but this doesn't execute because so that is just a definition. So that's why it is not printed anything. So but now it will print the B. It has been printed the value B. So now it will call this method add because I am calling the function here. So I just step into that. So I just step into that method. So it go to the first line and it executed and it returned to the actual method. So it means it's just printed the value 2.5. Then this method has been returned to the same where it is called. It has been returned to that position. and finally it will end. The process has been finished. So, but now I will give the indentation. Now let's see, this print p will execute within this addition method or outside the addition method. I will just debug. So it comes to the definition. So after the definition, it has not executed the print b. Even if you see the console output, there is no code. So now let's go to the step into this method because I am calling this add method. So I just step into that method. So then the execution come to this line. So now if I step over, so I got the output 2.5. So because this is printed a value. So then again it comes to the print b. So you mean you understood, right? So whatever the indentation is there in this space, so it covers to this method. So then if I step over, then again it is returned to the calling method. Then it will end. So for example, if I create one more method here, def subtract it to be a minus b plus b. So I will make this as a integer value. So there is a two method. So now what would be the output? Basavaraj, can you tell me what will be the output if I execute this code?
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತೈತಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ.
No, ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅದು ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ನ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕಾಲ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಆಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಷ್ಟೇ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಎ ಮೈನಸ್ ಬಿ ನ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನಾನು ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು. Okay, now we will execute and we'll check. So I just executed the code. So it is my output is only 7. Means it is only add method is called. Now if I want to do the subtraction also, what I have to do?
We have to call the subtract method.
So I have to call the subtract method. So we'll execute that code. So now first it is called the addition method. Next it is called the subtraction method.
Yes.
Okay. So each method will be make it as an indentation. So indentation means so there should be a space for this line, for the first line. So then all the below lines will be in the same indent. For example, here if you want to print something, so this statement also, this instruction set also, it should be in the same alignment. That in the Python we call it as an indent space. So here I have to use that. Now if we execute this, So first these two line has been executed because first I am calling this add method. So as usual, we know that Python is procedure language also. It will execute the code line by line. So when it is executing the code line by line, so first it will get the addition method. So first it will complete the addition method by executing all the code inside the addition method. After that, it will call the subtraction method. So it will call the subtraction method and it executes all the inside the line. Okay, so now we will see, so what is the, we were seeing actually local variable and global variable. So this is A and B is the local variable. So this A and B, we can able to access within the function. So now I will use one variable C equals to 10. Okay, so this is the local variable for within this function. So if I can't able to use this C variable somewhere outside this, so I will use here only C minus. So now only it is showing that error unresolved reference C. Unresolved reference C means, so this compiler or interpreter, not compiler, this Python interpreter, it is saying that C is no reference in this code because C is only for within this method. So we need to tell that what is C. Otherwise, if even if you click on this red color line, so there will be a suggestions will come. Okay, this red color bulb icon. So if you click on that suggestions, it will give you all the suggestions. So for example, import this name and import this name locally and create the parameter C. So if you use that C, so this is searching some inside the library. Calendar, there is a one library is there. So in the .c one value is there. So if you import it, so it is imported the C value. Okay. So but we don't want that C actually. Just I am showing that. So while doing the coding, these kinds of suggestions also you will get it. Means if you want to actually import something, so you just by clicking that will import that package. You don't need to worry about that which package I have to import in the top line and all those. I think Harun has used in C# or Java.
Yes.
Same type. So now this is the local variable. So that's why I am not able to use in this method. As the same A and B is the global variable for this file. So that's why I am able to access this A and B in this addition method as well as subtraction method. Okay. So now how to make this even C as a global variable? So we have one keyword global. So just by accessing that, making that C as a global. So first we need to declare that is a global. Then we have to assign the value 10. So then there is no error here because even inside the function, whatever the variables we are using, we can make them as a global by declaring the keyword global. So now there is no error. Even we can execute and we can check it. So let's execute the code. So it is printed 7 addition value and what is the subtraction value? C minus B. What is the C value? 10. So 10 minus C means 10 minus 3 is the 7. So this is the subtraction method. Even if you want to debug it, so we can debug the code. So let's go line by line execution. So as this is a definition, so this is just store that definition reference in the RAM. So now we can able to see in the RAM there is only a two variables A and B. So A is 4 and B is 3. So now we are in the line number 16. The Python is executing the line number 16. As this is a method, this will call the method. So then now we will step into that method. So then we can able to see the variable. Not showing. Okay. So as this is a local function, so we are in the local function. So what are the corresponding variables are there within this function? Only those variables it will show. But why is not showing the?
But previously it was showing for A and B.
Okay. So there is a two threads are there. Okay, threads means so this is add function is a separate method. Okay, this is the main method. So in the main method, so this is the main file. So in this file, A variable is there, B variable is there. So after inside this, it's C has declared as a global. So then now we can able to see the C value also. Okay. So now let's go to next line. So now it's returned to the add method. So now we can able to see ABC. So now we can't able to see that method, another thread. It is actually not a separate thread. In this it is showing that is a separate module, means separate method. Okay, this method is executed successfully. So then next it will go to the subtraction method. For this also we will do the stepping. So once we step in, so there is a two method. Now we are in the subtraction method. So if we go to the main method, we can able to see the variable. A value is 4, B value 3, C value is 10. So now if we go to the step over, so it has been printed the C minus P. If you see the console, we can able to see C minus P 7. Now again, if we step over, so this line is executed. So subtraction value. So then the program will end. Okay. So now we will see the calling the method with the parameter. So parameter means we can pass the value for the method.